Welcome to Real Daily Talks, where simple English becomes real speaking. Today's topic is one that I know many of you have been waiting for. We are going to teach you how to talk at the visa office in English. We're covering 100 essential phrases that you can use when you visit a visa office, an embassy, or a consulate.
This is such an important topic. Going to a visa office can be stressful, especially if English is not your first language. You might not know the right words. You might be nervous. You might worry about making a mistake.
Exactly. But today, we're going to prepare you. After this lesson, you will know exactly what to say, how to answer questions, and how to ask for help politely and clearly. This lesson is useful for anyone applying for a tourist visa, a student visa, a work visa, or any other type of visa.
Whether you're going to the visa office next week or just preparing for the future, this lesson is for you.
So please give this video a thumbs up if you find it helpful. It really makes a difference for our channel. And if you haven't subscribed yet, click that subscribe button and the bell icon so you never miss a new lesson.
Are you ready for this one, Sophia? There's a lot to cover.
I'm very ready. This is going to be a really practical lesson. Let's get started.
So, Sophia, how are you doing today?
I'm doing really well, thank you. I had a productive weekend. How about you?
I'm good. A little nervous, actually.
Nervous? Why?
Well, funny you should ask. I spent part of my weekend trying to organize documents for a visa application, and it was a lot.
Oh, really? Which visa?
Just a tourist visa for a trip I'm planning. But there were so many forms, so many documents, I didn't know which one to submit first. I felt completely lost.
Oh, I completely understand that feeling. The visa process can be overwhelming. What documents did you need?
Okay, let me think. Passport photos, bank statements, travel insurance, proof of accommodation, flight itinerary, and a few other things I can't even remember.
That's a lot. And you had to prepare all of those this weekend?
I tried. I think I'm mostly ready, but I'm worried about what they'll ask me at the office. Like, what if they ask me something and I don't know how to answer? Or what if they use words I don't understand?
That's exactly why today's lesson is so perfect. Speaking of visa offices and the language you need there, that is our entire topic today. We're going to go through everything you might need to say or hear at a visa office. By the end of this, you'll feel much more prepared, Ryan.
Perfect timing then. I literally need this lesson.
Let's make sure you're ready. Let's dive in. Okay, let's structure this conversation the way you would actually experience a visit to the visa office. We'll go from the very beginning, arriving and checking in, all the way through to submitting your application and leaving. And along the way, we'll include the key phrases you need.
I love that. Step by step. That's the best way to learn.
Exactly. So let's start at the very beginning. You arrive at the visa office or embassy. The first thing you need to do is check in or get a ticket number. Let's imagine I'm the officer at the front desk and you're the applicant.
Okay, I'll be the applicant. Should I just walk in?
Great question. When you arrive, you might hear or need to say, "Good morning, I have an appointment." Or, "Hello, I'm here to submit my visa application." Or, "Hi, I'm here for my visa interview." These are all polite and natural opening phrases.
So I should always say why I'm there?
Yes, always state your purpose clearly. You can also say, "I'd like to submit an application for a tourist visa." Or, "I'm here to collect my passport." Or, "I have an appointment at 10 a.m.
What if I don't have an appointment? Can I still go?
Good question. Some offices accept walk-ins, which means you go without a prior appointment. In that case, you can say, "I don't have an appointment. Is it possible to apply today?" Or, "Do I need an appointment or can I apply as a walk-in?"
Walk-in is a useful term, so it means going somewhere without booking in advance?
Exactly. A walk-in is when you arrive without an appointment. You just walk in. It's used in many situations, not just visa offices. A doctor's clinic might have walk-in hours, for example.
Got it. And what happens after you check in?
Usually you take a number or wait to be called. You might hear, "Please take a number and have a seat." Or, "Your number is B47. Please wait until your number is called." And when your number is called, you go to the counter.
Okay, so now I'm at the counter. What does the officer typically ask first?
The officer will usually start by asking for your passport. They might say, "May I see your passport, please?" Or, "Can I have your passport and application form?" You hand over your documents and say, "Here is my passport," or "Here are my documents," or "I have everything ready."
Ooh, I have everything ready. I like that. It sounds confident.
Yes, confidence matters. Even if you're nervous inside, speaking clearly and calmly makes a good impression. The officer might then ask, "What type of visa are you applying for?" You should answer clearly. For example, "I'm applying for a tourist visa," or "I'm applying for a student visa," or "I'm applying for a business visa."
What about a work visa? How do I say that?
You say, "I'm applying for a work permit visa," or simply, "I'm applying for a work visa." You can also say, "I'm applying for an employment visa." Different countries use slightly different terms.
Okay, so the type of visa is the first thing they ask about?
Often, yes. Then they might ask about your destination. They'll say, "Which country are you applying to visit?" Or, "What is your destination?" You answer, "I'm planning to visit France," or "My destination is Canada," or "I'm applying to travel to the United Kingdom."
Simple enough. What comes next?
They'll start checking your documents. The officer might say, "Do you have your bank statements?" Or, "Can I see your proof of accommodation?" Or, "Did you bring your travel insurance?" For each document, you hand it over and say, "Yes, here it is," or "Yes, I have it right here," or "I included it in my folder."
What if you're missing a document? That's my nightmare scenario.
It happens. Don't panic. You can say, "I'm sorry, I don't have that document with me today," or "I forgot to bring that. Can I submit it later?" Or, "Is it possible to send it by email?" The officer will guide you on what to do next.
Okay, good. So there are phrases for when things go wrong, too. What other documents might they ask about?
They commonly ask for your passport-size photos. You might hear, "Do you have 2 passport photos?" Your travel itinerary. They might say, "Do you have proof of your travel dates?" Your hotel reservation or letter of accommodation. Your bank statements showing sufficient funds. Your travel insurance policy. And sometimes a letter from your employer or school.
That's a lot of documents. What does sufficient funds mean?
Great question. Sufficient means enough. Sufficient funds means you have enough money to support yourself during your trip. The officer might ask, "Can you show proof of sufficient funds?" Or, "Do your bank statement show enough money for your stay?" You can answer, "Yes, I have 3 months of bank statements here," or "I have enough savings for my trip. Here is my statement."
And what if they need more proof? Can you explain that?
Yes, they might say, "Your bank balance appears low. Can you explain?" Or you can say, "I also have a sponsor who will support my trip," or "My employer will cover my travel expenses," or "I have a valid credit card with sufficient limit." These are all acceptable answers.
Okay, that's helpful. What about the interview part? I've heard some visa applications require an interview.
Yes, many do, especially for student visas, work visas, and immigration visas. The interview can feel intimidating, but it's really just a conversation. The officer wants to understand your intentions and verify your information.
What kinds of questions do they ask in an interview?
They might ask, "What is the purpose of your visit?" You answer, "I'm going for tourism," or "I'm visiting family," or "I'm attending a conference for work." They might ask, "How long do you plan to stay?" You say, "I plan to stay for 2 weeks," or "My visa will cover a 30-day stay," or "I'll be there from the 5th to the 20th of June."
What about where will you stay?
Exactly. That's another common question. You answer, "I'll be staying at a hotel in the city center," or "I'll be staying with a friend. Here is his invitation letter," or "I have a booking confirmation for an Airbnb. Here is the printout."
Invitation letter, what's that?
An invitation letter is a document written by someone in the destination country, a friend, relative, or business contact, inviting you to visit them. It usually includes their name, address, contact details, and the dates of your visit.
I didn't know that was a thing. Very useful. What other interview questions might come up?
They might ask, "Do you have family or relatives in the country you're visiting?" You can say, "Yes, I have a cousin who lives there," or "No, I don't have any family there." They might ask, "Have you visited this country before?" You answer, "Yes, I visited 2 years ago," or "No, this is my first time applying."
Oh, that's a common one. And what about work or study?
Yes, if you're applying for a student visa, they might ask, which university are you planning to attend? You answer, I've been accepted to the University of Toronto, or I'm enrolled in a language course at a school in London. They might also ask, do you have your acceptance letter? And you say, yes, here is my official acceptance letter from the university.
What about for work visas? What do they ask?
For a work visa, common questions include, do you have a job offer from an employer in that country? You say, yes, I have an official job offer letter here, or my employer has sponsored my visa application. They might ask, what will your role be? And you answer, I'll be working as a software engineer, or I'll be teaching English at a language school.
These are so practical. Okay, what about when they tell you something and you don't understand?
Very important. You must ask for clarification when you don't understand. Never just nod and pretend you understood. You can say, I'm sorry, could you repeat that, please? Or, I'm sorry, could you speak more slowly? Or, I didn't catch that. Could you say it again?
Those are so useful. What if you don't understand a specific word?
You say, I'm sorry, I don't understand the word. Could you explain? Or, what does that mean exactly? Or, could you write that down for me, please? Officers at visa offices deal with many non-native speakers. They are usually patient and happy to help if you ask politely.
That's reassuring. I always feel embarrassed to ask, but I guess it's better than misunderstanding something important.
Absolutely. Misunderstanding an instruction at a visa office could cause real problems. Always ask. No one will judge you for it.
Okay, what about if you need to correct something on your form?
Good one. You might realize you made a mistake on your application form. You can say, excuse me, I think I made a mistake on my form. Can I correct it? Or, I wrote the wrong date here. May I change it? Or, I'd like to update the information on my application.
And what if they find a mistake that you didn't notice?
They might say, there's an error on your form. The name here doesn't match your passport. And you say, oh, I'm so sorry, you're right. Can I fill in a new form? Or, that's a typo. My correct name is name. How can I fix this?
What does typo mean for anyone who doesn't know?
A typo is a small mistake you make when writing or typing, like writing John instead of John. It's short for typographical error. It's a very casual, commonly used word.
I make typos all the time on my phone, so now I know the word for it.
We all do. Okay, let's move on to fees and payment. After the officer checks your documents and application, they'll usually tell you the visa fee. They might say, the visa fee is amount, or you need to pay a processing fee of amount. And you say, okay, how can I pay? Or do you accept card payments? Or is cash also accepted?
Good to know. What if the fee is more than you expected?
You can ask, is this the standard fee for a tourist visa? Or is there an additional fee for processing? Or could you explain what this fee covers? You're allowed to ask for clarification about payments.
And after paying?
After paying, they'll usually give you a receipt. You might hear, here's your receipt, please keep it safe. You should say, thank you. How long will it take to process my application? Or when can I expect a decision? Or will I receive an email when it's ready?
Processing time. That's something everyone wants to know, right?
Yes. The answer varies a lot. It might be processing takes 5 to 10 business days, or you should hear back within 3 weeks. A business day means a working day, Monday through Friday, not including holidays. So 5 business days is usually 1 work week.
What if you need your visa faster? Is there a way to ask for that?
Yes. You can ask, is there an option to expedite my application? Expedite means to process something faster than normal. You might say, I have an urgent travel date. Is expedited processing available? Or, I need my visa by date. Is that possible?
Expedite. That's a new word for me. I'll remember that.
Good. Now let's talk about collecting your passport. After your visa is approved, you go back to collect your passport and visa. When you arrive, you say, I'm here to collect my passport. Or, I received a message that my visa is ready. Or, my reference number is number. I'm here to pick up my passport.
And then you check it before leaving, right?
Always. When they hand you your passport, check it immediately. Look at the visa sticker or stamp. Check the name is correct, the dates are right, the number of entries is what you applied for, and the visa type is correct. If something is wrong, say it immediately. Excuse me, I think there might be an error on my visa. The dates here don't look right. Or the name on the visa doesn't match my passport exactly. Could you check this?
What does number of entries mean?
The number of entries tells you how many times you can enter the country with that visa. A single entry visa means you can enter once. If you leave, you cannot re-enter. A multiple entry visa means you can enter and exit the country many times during the visa period.
Oh, that's very important to know, especially if you plan to travel to nearby countries during your trip.
Exactly. Always check your visa type carefully. You might also see terms like duration of stay. This means how many days you're allowed to stay each time you enter. And validity period. This is the window of time in which your visa is active.
Wait, so the validity period and the duration of stay are different things?
Yes, and this confuses many people. For example, you might have a visa with a validity period of 6 months, meaning you can use it anytime within those 6 months, but your duration of stay might only be 30 days, meaning each time you enter, you can only stay for 30 days.
Oh, so you could enter and exit multiple times within 6 months, but each visit can only be 30 days.
Exactly right. You understood it perfectly.
That's actually really important. I didn't know the difference before. What other things should you be aware of when you receive your visa?
Look for the visa category or type, usually written as a letter or code, like C for short stay visa in some countries. Check the purpose, tourist, business, student, etc., and always note the earliest date you can enter. Some visas have a not valid before date, which means you can't enter the country before that specific date.
That's detailed but so useful. Any last phrases for leaving the visa office?
Yes. When everything is done and you're ready to go, you can say, "Thank you so much for your help," or "Everything looks correct, thank you," or "Is there anything else I need to do?" A polite exit matters, and the officer might say, "Have a safe trip," or "Good luck with your travels." And you can respond, "Thank you very much. I appreciate your help."
That's a nice way to end the visit. Polite and grateful.
Always. Politeness goes a long way at a visa office. Officers deal with dozens of applicants every day. If you are calm, prepared, and polite, you make their job easier and your experience smoother.
Okay, that was a really comprehensive walkthrough. I feel so much more prepared now.
Good. And let's also quickly go through a few extra phrases that are useful for different situations. If you're waiting for a long time, you can politely ask, "Excuse me, how much longer do you think I'll need to wait?" Or, "I've been waiting for about an hour. Has my number been missed?" Or, "Could you let me know when it's my turn?"
Those are good. I always feel awkward just sitting there, not knowing if something went wrong.
Completely normal feeling. And if you need to step out briefly, you can say, "Excuse me, do I need to stay here or can I step outside for a moment?" Or, "If my number is called, will I be called again or do I need to stay in the room?"
Smart question. I once missed my number at a government office and had to start over. Terrible.
Ha! So always ask. Better safe than sorry. And here are a few more useful phrases for various situations. If you need to reschedule your appointment, "I need to cancel my appointment and book a new one." Or, "Is it possible to change my appointment to a different date?" If you want to check your application status after submitting, "I'd like to check the status of my visa application," or "I submitted my application 2 weeks ago. Can you tell me if there are any updates?"
And what if your visa is rejected? That's a scary thought.
It happens, and it's important to know how to handle it. If your visa is refused, you might hear, "Your application has been unsuccessful," or "We are unable to approve your visa at this time." You can ask, "Could you tell me the reason for the refusal?" Or, "Is it possible to appeal this decision?" Or, "What can I do to improve my application for the future?"
Appeal, what does that mean?
To appeal means to formally request a review of a decision. If you think the refusal was a mistake or unfair, you appeal, meaning you ask the authority to look at your case again. It's a formal process, and the rules are different in each country.
I see. So you don't just have to accept a rejection. You can ask for reconsideration.
In many cases, yes, but you need to follow the official process. Always ask for the refusal reason in writing if possible. It helps you understand what was missing and how to improve your application.
That's really practical advice. I don't think many people know they can do that.
Exactly. Knowledge is power. Okay, we've covered a massive range of phrases and situations. I think our viewers now have a really solid toolkit for communicating at a visa office in English.
Absolutely, and I personally feel way more ready for my visa appointment now.
Good. That's exactly what we're here for. You know, Ryan, while we were talking, we used many important words and phrases that are especially useful for the visa office context. Let's go through them one by one.
Yes, and some of these are words I'd never heard before today, so this is very valuable.
First word, applicant. An applicant is a person who is formally applying for something. A visa, a job, a university place, etc. For example, all applicants must submit their documents by Friday. Or the applicant provided all required paperwork. Or as an applicant, you have the right to ask about your application's status.
Oh yes, the officer might refer to you as the applicant, so you should know that word refers to you.
Exactly. The related noun is application, the formal request you submit, and the verb is to apply. I am applying for a visa. I am the applicant. I have submitted my application.
Those three forms are really useful together.
What kind of things have you applied for in your life, Ryan?
I've applied for jobs, I've applied for university, and now I'm applying for a visa. So I've been an applicant many times.
Perfect examples. Next word, itinerary. An itinerary is a detailed plan of a journey, including travel dates, destinations, and activities. For example, please provide your flight itinerary. Or, my itinerary shows I arrive on June 5th and depart on June 20th. Or, I printed my travel itinerary to show at the visa office.
This word confused me at first. I wasn't sure how to pronounce it.
It's pronounced itinerary. It's a slightly long word, but very useful. Say it with me. Itinerary.
Itinerary. I can also say travel plan, right? Is that the same?
Travel plan is more casual and informal. Itinerary is the official, formal term, the one you'd see on a document or hear at an official office. So at the visa office, use itinerary.
Good distinction. What's your itinerary for your next trip, Sophia?
I'm planning a trip next year. My itinerary includes flying into one city and then traveling by train to several others. Very exciting.
That sounds wonderful.
Next word, sufficient. Sufficient means enough, having as much as is needed and no more, no less. For example, you must show sufficient funds, or make sure you have sufficient documents before your appointment, or the officer said my bank balance was not sufficient.
So sufficient is more formal than just saying enough?
Exactly. They mean the same thing, but sufficient is more formal. In official settings like visa offices, banks, and government agencies, sufficient is common. The opposite is insufficient, not enough. You might hear insufficient documents were provided.
Oh, hearing insufficient at a visa office would be very stressful.
It would, but now you know what it means and how to respond. Next word, process and processing. As a verb, to process means to handle, review, and deal with something officially. As a noun, the process means the series of steps involved. For example, they will process your application within 10 days. Or the processing time is 3 weeks. Or your application is currently being processed.
And processing fee, that's the money you pay for them to handle your application.
Exactly. A processing fee is the charge for the administrative work of reviewing your application. You might also hear application fee. They often mean the same thing in the visa context.
What if there's a delay in processing?
You can ask, is there a reason for the delay in processing my application? Or, can you check the status of my application? Good phrases to know. Next word, expedite. To expedite means to make a process happen faster than normal. For example, I need to expedite my visa application because I have an urgent trip. Or, is there an expedited service available? Or, expedited processing costs an additional fee.
Wait, so you can actually pay to get your visa faster?
In many countries, yes. It's called expedited processing or premium processing. It costs more, but if you have an urgent situation, like a family emergency or an important business meeting, it's worth asking about.
I didn't know that was an option. Very useful.
Next word, refusal. A refusal means a rejection when your application is not approved. For example, I received a visa refusal last year, or the reason for refusal was insufficient financial proof, or after a refusal, you may reapply.
This is an important word to know, even though nobody wants to experience it.
Exactly. Being prepared for all outcomes is important. Related words, to refuse is the verb. Refused is the past tense. You might hear your application has been refused. And refusal letter is the document that officially informs you of the rejection.
And you said you can appeal a refusal? Is that always possible?
Not always. It depends on the country and visa type, but it's always worth asking. Next phrase, duration of stay. This means the maximum number of days you are allowed to remain in a country each time you enter. For example, your duration of stay is 30 days, or do not exceed your permitted duration of stay, or the visa allows a duration of stay of up to 90 days.
And this is different from validity period, right?
Correct. Let me explain both again clearly. The validity period is the time window in which the visa is active. For example, valid from January 1st to June 30th. The duration of stay is how many days you can stay per visit. For example, 30 days per entry. You can think of validity as the use-by date and duration of stay as the time allowed per visit.
That's actually a great way to think about it. Yes, exactly.
Next word, submission. Submission means the act of officially handing over or presenting documents or an application. For example, the submission deadline is Friday, or please ensure all documents are ready before submission, or after submission, you will receive a reference number.
So submit is the verb and submission is the noun.
Exactly. I will submit my application tomorrow. My submission is complete. Both are useful forms.
What happens if you miss the submission deadline?
You might need to reschedule your appointment. You can say, I missed the deadline. Is it possible to submit my application late? Or can I book a new appointment for a later date? Next word, valid and validity. Valid means officially acceptable and within the allowed time period. For example, your passport must be valid for at least 6 months, or this visa is no longer valid, or please ensure all your documents are valid.
So if something is not valid, it means it's expired or not accepted.
Exactly. The opposite of valid is invalid or expired. An expired passport is an invalid document. The officer might say, your passport expired last month. It is no longer valid. So always check that your documents are valid before your appointment.
Very important reminder.
Last word, accommodation. Accommodation means a place to stay, like a hotel, hostel, Airbnb, or a friend's house. At the visa office, you'll need to show proof of accommodation, something that confirms where you'll be staying. For example, here is my hotel booking confirmation as proof of accommodation. Or I'm staying with a friend. Here is her invitation letter as proof of accommodation. Or I have a printout of my Airbnb reservation.
And accommodation can also refer to the actual physical place, right?
Yes, my accommodation is in the city center, means your place to stay is in the city center. It's a versatile word used in travel, housing, and official documents.
Great. That rounds out our vocabulary nicely.
Perfect. Let's do a quick summary of today's vocabulary. Applicant, the person formally applying for something. Itinerary, a detailed travel plan. Sufficient, enough, as much as is needed. Process, or processing, to handle officially, the time it takes to handle something. Expedite, to make something happen faster than normal. Refusal, when an application is rejected. Duration of stay, the number of days allowed per visit. Submission, the act of officially presenting documents. Valid, or validity, officially acceptable and within the allowed time period. And accommodation, a place to stay or proof of where you'll be staying.
Great. Those 10 words cover so much ground at a visa office. Really essential vocabulary.
Okay, Ryan, that was a lot of talking about the visa office.
It really was. And I have to say, this is one of the most practically useful lessons we've done. I feel like I just went through a mini training session.
That's exactly what it was, a training session. Okay, let's think about what we learned today and organize it clearly so everyone can review it easily.
Let's do it.
First, we learned how to arrive and check in at the visa office. This is where you introduce yourself and state your purpose. Key phrases include, "Good morning, I have an appointment. I'm here to submit my visa application. I'm here for my visa interview. I'd like to apply for a tourist visa. And I'm here as a walk-in. Is that possible today?" These phrases help you start your visit smoothly and professionally.
Then we covered how to present your documents. This is a critical part of the visit. You need to hand over the right papers and confirm what you have. Key phrases are, "Here is my passport," "Here are all my required documents," "I have everything ready," "I included my bank statements in the folder," and "I also have my travel insurance policy here." Being organized and clear when presenting documents makes a great impression.
After that, we talked about answering interview questions, the questions the officer might ask about your trip, your plans, and your background. You need to answer clearly and honestly. Key phrases include, "I'm applying for a tourist visa. The purpose of my visit is tourism. I plan to stay for 2 weeks. I'll be staying at a hotel. I've been accepted to the University of Toronto, and my employer has provided a job offer letter." Practice these answers before your appointment.
We also covered what to do when you don't understand something. This is so important. Don't pretend you understood when you didn't. Ask politely. Key phrases are, "I'm sorry, could you repeat that, please? Could you speak more slowly? I don't understand that word. Could you explain? And could you write that down for me?" These phrases show respect and help you get the right information.
Then we discussed fees, payment, and processing. After submitting your documents, you'll need to pay and ask about next steps. Key phrases are, "How can I pay the visa fee? Do you accept card payments? How long does processing take? When can I expect a decision? Is there expedited processing available? And is there an additional fee for faster processing?" These phrases help you understand the timeline and costs clearly.
And finally, we covered collecting your passport and what to do at the end of your visit, including checking for errors and asking any final questions. Key phrases are, "I'm here to collect my passport," "I received a message that my visa is ready," "I'd like to verify that the dates on my visa are correct," "Excuse me, I think there might be an error here," "Is there anything else I need to do?" and "Thank you so much for your help." Always check your visa carefully before leaving the office.
So you see, when you break it down, communicating at a visa office in English is very manageable. You just need the right phrases for each stage: arriving, presenting documents, answering questions, asking for clarification, paying and processing, and collecting your visa.
And with the vocabulary we learned, applicant, itinerary, sufficient, valid, duration of stay, and the rest, you have the language to handle almost any situation that comes up.
Exactly. You are more prepared than you think. Trust your preparation, speak clearly and politely, and you'll do great.
Now, we want to hear from you. This is our favorite part of every episode.
We genuinely love reading your comments. Every single one. And today's question is something we're very curious about.
Our question of the day is, have you ever been to a visa office or embassy? What was the experience like? And is there one phrase from today that you wish you had known before?
Oh, I love this question. Let me answer first. Yes, I've been to a visa office several times. One experience that stands out was when I applied for a visa years ago, and the officer asked me something I didn't quite understand. I just said yes, thinking it was a simple yes or no question. But it turned out it wasn't, and my answer caused a little confusion. I wish I had known to say, "I'm sorry, I didn't understand the question. Could you repeat that?" That simple phrase would have saved a very awkward moment.
That's so relatable. For me, I have my appointment coming up, as I mentioned at the start. I haven't been yet, but the phrase I know I'll need is, "Could you speak more slowly, please?" Because I know I'll get nervous and probably miss some words. I'm going to remember that phrase and use it confidently.
See, our experiences are different. One of us has been before, one is going for the first time, and that's perfectly fine. Every experience is valid and every question is welcome.
So, viewers, we want to know about you. Have you visited a visa office before, or are you preparing for your first time? And which phrase from today do you think will be the most useful for you?
You can write your answer in the comments using one of these formats. First format, I visited the visa office in year or country, and it was adjective. One phrase I wish I knew was phrase. For example, I visited the visa office in 2022, and it was stressful. One phrase I wish I knew was, "Could you repeat that more slowly, please?"
Or try this one. I'm preparing for my first visa appointment. The phrase I will definitely use is phrase, because, reason. For example, I'm preparing for my first visa appointment. The phrase I will definitely use is, I have all my documents ready, because it sounds confident and organized.
And a third option, my experience at the visa office was, describe it. The most difficult part was challenge. Now I know I can say, phrase, to handle it. For example, my experience at the visa office was confusing. The most difficult part was understanding the officer's questions. Now I know I can say, "Could you explain that in simpler terms?" to handle it.
These formats give you a structure to write in, which is great practice. Even if you've never been to a visa office, you can answer with what you're preparing for or what you're most nervous about.
We really want to hear your stories. Your experiences help other viewers feel less alone and less nervous, and sharing them in English helps you practice real writing.
So please leave your comment below. We're reading every single one.
All right, everyone, we've reached the end of today's lesson, and what a lesson it was. Thank you so much for being here with us.
We covered a huge amount of material today. 100 essential phrases and a full walkthrough of the visa office process in English. That is genuinely useful stuff.
If this video helped you, please give it a big thumbs up right now. It takes just a second, and it means the world to us. It also helps more English learners around the world find this lesson when they need it most.
And if you're not yet subscribed to Talk Sophia, please click that subscribe button and the little bell notification icon. That way, you'll never miss a new lesson. We post regularly, and every video is designed to help you speak English with more confidence in real-life situations.
You are all incredible students. Coming to this video, whether you watched all of it or just parts of it, means you are taking your English learning seriously, and that matters.
Keep practicing, everyone. Remember, the best way to learn English for specific situations is to practice those exact phrases out loud before you need them. Rehearse what you'll say at your appointment. Say it to yourself in the mirror, record yourself, or practice with a friend.
Preparation is the key to confidence. You've done the studying. Now practice speaking. You've got this.
That's all from us today. We hope this lesson helps you feel calm, prepared, and confident at your next visa appointment.
Have a wonderful day, a lovely evening, and a peaceful night wherever you are in the world.
Good luck to everyone with their visa applications. You're going to do great.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye. See you in the next lesson. Take care.